Hello world. I'm taking a break from doing physics to chat because I have been non-existent for the past 48 hours. I apologize, but at the same time, it's just something that needs to happen every once in a while. You know? There's also there was 2 flies, but I killed one. Now it's just one fly that's going around my room. It's really annoying. I'm printing a document for my physics homework. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that later. It's for my take-home exam. I also took down my flag because I'm moving out soon. Very excited about this summer. Look at that little wing. Anyway, I need a haircut. Yeah, I'm very excited about the summer. I'm so ready for exams to be done. I just want to I don't know, live my life, I guess. The exams just feel like a looming threat, because I have one exam Monday, one exam Wednesday, and one exam Thursday, and it's just taking forever for them to get here. I don't move out for another week because I have one exam each day except for Tuesday. It's just kind of ridiculous. And I wish it moved through quicker, but no. Yeah, we had to have study days. It's been kind of nice, but it also has killed all efforts of motivation. I've been trying to do this one physics assignment that's due today at midnight. All day. Well, not all day, since probably 4 hours. How much time have I actually worked on it? Probably about 20 to 30 minutes in total. Now, the take-home exam should be shorter. Oh, I get free 4 pages. That's fine. I'm not gonna print out anything else. Sorry, I get 10 free pages per month. There's my release code. I'll have to go get that later. Anyway, I needed a break from doing stuff, and I figured I would vlog just to confirm that I do in fact exist to most people out there. Hey, Thomas. I've also been hearing, it's been particularly loud when people drive by my window as of late. I feel like people have just been louder and walking by too. I see these big groups of people walking by, especially around now, as they're heading to the bars and to the parties and to all that. Excuse me. Yeah, here I am in my room doing physics homework that's due tonight that I don't want to do. I feel like once I knock out this take-home portion though of the exam, I'll be okay. The homework I can deal with slowly. I can pick at, and it's the only thing I have to do today. I have some assignments due Sunday, I think, but I can wait on those, yeah. But this physics homework is a review of everything, so it's I should do it, but I don't want to do it, and I'm trying to look at every problem, but at the same time I'm jumping around to which ones I feel I want to do in that given moment. Yeah, but whatever. I'll get however much of it I need to get done. My grade in that class is fine, so I honestly have no concerns. Should I be more concerned? Probably. Am I? Not really. I've kind of been wanting to socialize more recently. And by recently, I mean like in the past like 2 hours. Because I have been in my room for the past like 48 hours. Ooh. Definitely for the past 36. I don't think I've gotten to 48 yet. 6 more hours and it's gonna be 48 hours. Oh, no, wait, I did leave for like 30 minutes to drive and get food for lunch today. But that was it. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm ready to leave. But alas, here we are, getting dragged along. Usually I feel like I have more to talk about in my own head. Nothing has really like prompted me to talk. I feel like I just needed a break from work. You know? Like I keep thinking about like Brittany Broski and the Broski Report. And like she just has so much to talk about. Like I don't know if she plans it at all, but she is thinking, you know? I guess maybe like her whole week kind of like leads up to the Broski Report. So then when she does it, she has the whole week of stuff to talk about. Like all those thoughts have amounted to the Broski Report. And I am posting long videos of me talking to myself multiple days of each week, so it's like I'm bound to run out of things to say. But then at the same time, it's like, oh, but in my brain, I'm constantly thinking and like going about stuff. But I guess like that's different because like not everything that I think in my brain is like something that I necessarily share on the internet. Not in like a bad way, but in a way that like my brain like repeats itself a lot. So like I think I'm thinking about different things. It feels like my brain's always on, but it's actually just repeating the same stuff to me over and over again. Like, oh, you should probably do your physics homework. Oh, I need a break. Oh my gosh, I'm about to crash out. This is so annoying. You know? Or like, oh, you should clean your room, which I did in fact finally finish putting my clothes away today. I did laundry like 3 days ago, so. But it's fine. You know, I did that. My bed is a lot more spacious now. Because there's not a pile of clothes on the end of it. I don't get how people put their clothes on the floor, okay? I will always put them on my bed. But like, on the floor is crazy. Unless they're dirty. But like, if they're clean, what do you mean they're on the floor, you know? Especially in this room, I have carpet in here. And I used to have a carpet on top of it that was like mine. But then I sent that back home when my mom came to visit. So now I just have like the dorm carpet. I don't know how I feel about this carpet. I don't know the last time it was like deep cleaned, because I can vacuum it all I want, but you know, so I'm not putting my clothes on that. Also, next year, I feel like I want to decorate more and like better, especially because the plan is for me to live in that same spot across the next like 3 years. But like, I don't really know how, and I feel like I just have to start buying stuff. And over time, like I'm gonna have more stuff and like more decorations, but I also have to actively make an effort to decorate. And that's not something that like I'm that good at. You know? You feel me? Yeah. Like I've heard people just say like, oh, you should just like decorate what your aesthetic is. And I'm like, yeah, but or like what you like is stuff that, but I don't go out and I'm like, ooh, this would be a great decoration for my room. Like if I see like a house decoration, I'm like, oh, that's cute. I'm not gonna spend my money on that. Because like I'm a big saver. Like I don't really spend money on anything. If you chuck me in a thrift store, I will indulge on some clothes, but like I buy food in small portions. I don't really splurge on any decorations. I was just talking about that. Like, I don't usually get expensive things, expensive clothes. I don't know. Like, I don't buy stuff on the internet that much. Like, especially right now because I'm not in like a gaming phase, because that's the only stuff that I'll really buy on the internet. Aside from like getting something on Amazon occasionally, like something random. But like, I'm not in a gaming phase right now. So I'm not even buying stuff on the internet. Like, I don't really go internet shopping. I'll occasionally buy shoes on the internet, but most of the time that's sponsored by my mom. uh, like, these things, like, if I don't need to spend money, why would I? Sorry, I'm getting texts. But then it's like, well, you don't always have to need to spend money in order to spend money. You know? Like, you can want something and buy it if you have the financial freedom to do that, you know? And like, I've been saving all my life. Like, I have the financial freedom to buy things to decorate my room. Like, so that I'm not living in like an insane asylum, like beige box for my entire life. But at the same time, it's just like, I just don't do that for some reason. Which is a choice. I mean, like, I have desk decorations and stuff, but I don't know what to put on walls. Especially because I don't own these walls, you know? It's like, I don't know, some places are really weird about like command hooks or like tacky or even push pins. So I don't really know. And also, like, I feel like people buy like large shelves to put stuff on, but that's a lot to like bring around. Like, a big shelf, that's, I'm gonna be living on the second floor of a place next year out of 2. There's like 1 staircase, so it's not even that much. I don't think there's an elevator to get up there because the staircase is on the outside. But like, I don't know. I mean, like, we're gonna be bringing stuff up there anyway because I obviously have to transport everything up those stairs. But like, I don't want to bring like a big shelf. Oh, I hate when they do that. It happens so much on this street because there's a police station like right over there, and they freaking like lurk right on this street and pull people over all the time right outside my window. And I feel bad. I'm like, y'all need to calm down. Like, I know you get paid for pulling people over, but like, please be kinder. We live in a society. Like, I feel like there are things that you should be concerned about aside from just like pulling a random person over because they just happen to be going like a couple miles per hour over the speed limit. But no, that's just like the state of our world, I guess. Exploiting people. Although, what makes me laugh though is that like we have such a big emphasis on driving culture, but then everyone speeds, which is technically illegal. But like, if everyone's speeding, it's like, is it just like fine now? Or like, it's just like everyone breaks the law when they drive. Everyone speeds, which is crazy to me. It's so like normalized. And I'm like, so we either have 2 options. 1, raise the speed limit, or 2, or I guess we have 3 options. 2, crack down and piss everyone off, or 3, just like keep doing what we're doing and just like there's like a 5% chance you get pulled over every time you're going over the speed limit, but it entirely depends on where you are. So I'm like, why don't we just like chill out a little bit? And like, the speed limit, like, yeah, it's like the speed limit, but like, everyone knows that like, if you can go like a maximum of like, well, it depends on the road, but there's like a different maximum that like you can go that's like above the speed limit, or sometimes below the speed limit. Like, sometimes I'm like, this is way too fast for this road. Like 2-lane curvy roads that are like low-key back roads are 45. In some places in South Carolina, I'm like, hello. Um, I cannot figure out my hair today, y'all. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, but yeah, it's like, as long as nobody's going like egregiously fast or egregiously slow, I feel like we can just like calm down. Like, as long as nobody's really at risk of getting hurt. And if we really have a problem, then we're gonna lower the speed limit like on the signs, and everyone's just gonna like notice that and auto adjust, you know? But I feel like a lot of people do have like, people drive at the speed that they feel comfortable driving at, right? And so that's kind of like an auto regulation in and of itself. And obviously there's gonna be trial and error, and whatever. Like, you're probably gonna get into an accident, but also at the same time though, if you have a large enough following distance, you can really drive at any speed that you want. Because it's not about the speed you're going, it's about the distance that you have in order to stop, if you really think about it. Like, if you want to go real fast on the highway and nobody's in front of you, there's really no danger there, unless somebody like cuts you off, in which case then that's like, I guess that is a following distance error, or if that's them. But I've heard my mom say, like, I'm not concerned about you driving on the road, I'm concerned about everyone else driving on the road, which is fair. Because, like, as long as you're, like, normal or, like, whatever, like, fine driver, like, it's not you that you need to be concerned about most of the time, it's other people. Especially in certain areas, like college towns, Friday nights, like, you know, which, like, makes sense. So I guess there's, like, that aspect as well. Because, like, it's easy to forget that, like, every car is being driven by an individual person that makes mistakes. Like, that's a lot of people on the road. And it's easy to think, like, oh, the lanes are just like tracks, like train tracks. Nobody's ever gonna wander out of the lane. But, of course, that's when you get too comfortable, is when you get into, is when accidents happen. I literally don't even know what prompted, it's police pulling a lot of people over. The police cracked down on that here. Like, y'all need to chill. But next year I'll be living in a different spot on campus, not near the police department. So I'm hoping it happens. At least I see it happen less. So then it's like chill. But this is like a hot spot for people to get pulled over for sure, because I hear all of it. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to not be living next to a road. Like, y'all have no idea. You hear it in my videos faintly, but like, just 24/7 people driving on the road. Like, I'm so tired of, in the dead of night, people thinking that they're cool and revving their engines as they go past windows. I'm like, do you know how many people's lives you just made miserable? Like, there's 4 stories here, and there are 4 rooms facing the outside wall. 2 are more tucked back per room, and then 2 are sticking out more. There's at least 40 rooms down this corridor. So 40 times 4 is 160, times 4 again is 640 people. You just ruined 640 people's nights, and that doesn't even account for like the other apartment complex over there, or like the houses back there. One single person can ruin 640 people's sleep just by driving fast down one road. And it's not even a long stretch of road. Like, that's like demon behavior. That's fiendish. Like, that makes me so mad. That pisses me off so much. Like, who died and made you king? And what level of hater do you have to be in order to do that between the hours of like midnight to 6 a.m.? Like, come on, be better, be a human being. We're all human beings. Because if, I don't know, like, if it was roles reversed and 640 people drove past that one person's window, I mean, obviously that would suck, but even if they just switched with one person, they would be pissed off too. So it's like, why are you doing it to other people? Like, what level of hatred do you have in your heart that prompts you to do that? And then, like, I'm just like, oh, well, like, maybe some people think it's cool to, like, rev their engine. It's like, oh, I have a cool car, I'm gonna show it off. How dumb do you have to be to want to show off your car when people are, it's clearly like the dead of night. Unless you just want to like piss people off, but then it's like, why would you even do that? Like, again, fiend behavior, demon behavior. So annoying, so annoying. But then people are probably like, why don't you just like not live next to a road? And it's like, okay, I didn't know which room I was picking when I was picking it. I don't like see a 3D map of the room. I was just concerned about getting a place to stay, okay? But I have like literally a week left here. So I should calm down. Then I go back to suburbia for 3 months. I like to say suburban purgatory. That's what my hometown area is. That's what I like to call it, because it's literally just like, do you guys know that scene in like A Wrinkle in Time where they're in a suburban land and it's all these kids bouncing a ball outside on their driveway in unison, but it's not in time at all? And like all the houses are like pastel colors, but they're like slightly different, but it's actually just all the same house. And then like all the moms come out at the same time and call their kids in. If the kids mess up, they get taken. That's what I mean when I say suburban purgatory. It's just like low-key copy and paste. And then when you drive down like our main road, sorry, I'm fiddling with a sheet of paper if it's making noise. When you're driving down a suburban, like one of our main roads, it's just like chain restaurant, chain restaurant, chain restaurant, chain grocery store. Like, I don't know. Small American towns, basically. Where it's like small American town that's large enough to, hello. What? I don't know. I just got the most random text from Thomas. Hey, Thomas. What was I saying? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. Small American town where it's not small enough, where it's like cute and like there's still some like local businesses, but it's not large enough to like have cool things to do. It's just kind of like mid-size. At least the area that I live in. Because like you could drive a distance out. It's a suburb of a greater town that I live in. That I'm from. So there's like stuff to do, but you like have to drive. It's not like there's nothing to do in the specific area that I live. And I'm not trying to dox myself right now. Even though like low-key, I don't think anyone would stalk me. But you know, it's always good to be safe. I don't know, some of Maeve's friends are obsessed with me. That was a joke, you can laugh. I just choked on my saliva there, so TMI, maybe. Hydrate time. Hydrate or dehydrate, drink some water. Go fill up your water bottles. Go drink some water. I know you guys haven't been drinking water. Yeah. Pause the video right now. Get off your lazy little butt and go get some water. Wherever the closest water is. I'll wait. I will sit here and wait for you to get some water. And maybe a snack, depending on how hungry you are, if you haven't eaten recently. I feel like I should, well, I can't put anything here now because I'm like moving out in a week, but this is literally like rule of thirds right here, and then I need something over here. Maybe I'll just like twirl my hand around a lot. That's besides the point. I just stretched out my legs, bro. I've been sitting crisscross applesauce for a teensy bit too long. I have to move this. My nightstand is low-key such a problem. Oh, all right. We here. We clapping. Anyone seen? I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about the Cowboy Carter tour. Beyonce. It looks fun. Wait, guys, fun little thing. I'm going to see my first tour, hopefully. Actually, I haven't asked my mom yet. But like, I have a ticket. Um, and it's like during the school year, so technically I could just go without telling her because I'll have a car and it's in Atlanta. So like, but then she would be like, "Why are you in Atlanta right now?" And I would have to drive home pretty late. I don't know. I just feel like that would be complicated to tell her. But at the same time, it's like I should probably tell her, but also at the same time, it's like, why would I? Some of these things, I'm like, I wish that you just like didn't have my location because it wouldn't be a problem if you didn't, because she wouldn't know otherwise. And like, she's such a worrier. I'm like, please calm down. You know, maybe that's mean or rude of me or whatever. But I'm just like, ugh, please let me live my life. I'm tired of being helicopter parented. Not helicopter parent. I get my mom's worry because I'm also a worrier, but I have learned to take a step back, and I think that she should do the same, but she has not learned to do that. She also needs to learn to let go because I am, in fact, an adult now, and I can make my own decisions, and I can make my own mistakes in my decisions. And those mistakes are things that I have to live with. But also, I am quite rational when it comes to like making decisions and stuff, and I feel like she should be able to see that by now. So like, if I want to go have fun and go to a concert in Atlanta, then I feel like I should be able to without like having to confer with her. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to see the Oh Hellos on October 18th, which is exciting. I'm going with someone. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm going more because of them, but I want to go with them. So I'm making it an Oh Hello Summer, and I'm listening to a lot of their music as of late. I actually need to listen to more of it. But like, they have some bops. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. It's gonna be my first concert. I think it's gonna be like a chill first concert, you know, because I get worried around large crowds. Excuse me. And it's not like that big of an arena, and yeah, I'm not like ultra concerned about it. So I think it'll be good. I think it'll be fun, and maybe then afterwards I can go to somebody else's concert. You know, like, I know a lot of tours just ended, like the Eras tour. Billie Eilish she's not done, but her American leg ended a while ago. She was just in Copenhagen, I think. Anyway, short and sweet tour, I think it's over. I don't think I would go to that one though. I feel like I would go to a Taylor Swift tour, Billie Eilish tour, and Olivia Rodrigo tour, which she also just finished touring, I'm pretty sure. Matilda Mann, if she came over to the United States, I would go on her tour. Laika, if she came to the East Coast, I would go to her tour. I don't know. I feel like those are like my main artists that I listen to a lot. Oh, Lizzie McAlpine. If she went on tour, I would probably go. I feel like that would be a good tour. Leve would be fun, but I don't think I would actually go because that's like, I don't listen to her music that much, but like I do enjoy her music, and I feel like that would be a fun kind of vibe. That's kind of up my alley. I've been to some like classical I've been to a couple symphonies, so like I feel like it's kind of a bridge between that, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Who else do I listen to? Conan Gray, Found Heaven on tour just ended. But also like I would go on these if I had somebody to go with, you know. And if they weren't too expensive, because that's the other thing about tours. Tours can be really expensive. And I'm like, ugh. But at the same time, like, also, I wouldn't be that sad if I, like, got a seat in the back. Because, like, you're still at the tour and you're still, like, in the stadium and stuff, but you're paying less, and it's not as, like, or claustrophobic. Like, I feel like that would be good for me. Like, that would be fun. But then again, I also... Oh. That's the third time that has happened in the past 3 hours. That's ridiculous. It's not even like the end of a quarter. I don't know why they're pulling so many people over. Like the fiscal... Wait, no, the last Friday of the month was... Hello. Anyway. The last Friday of the month was last week. So, like, I don't know, unless their fiscal period ends today. Or maybe they just saw that their first quarter was down and now they're, like, pulling a bunch of people over to compensate. Maybe. But the first quarter ends in March, does it not? Hello? What's happening? Oh my gosh, my phone is blowing up. If you guys are ever doing lip trills and you're struggling, little tip, you can hold the sides of your mouth in. It makes it a lot easier. And you can do the same with like your muscles and then there you go. Also, don't be afraid to spit. You're gonna spit while doing lip trills. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. It's not like Sharpie. Yeah. Yeah. High School Musical. Great movie. You know what song I have stuck in my head today? Do you guys know the song Sweet Heat Lightning by Isaac somebody? I don't know his full name. But it's like calling you to stay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Calling you to stay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, I have that song stuck in my head. I always see it with like couples on TikTok. And like, yeah, they're always like so cutesy together. But oh my gosh, what is happening in this group chat in the village? Okay. How is it 7 p.m.? I have 5 hours to do my take-home exam. It's 2 questions. It's not that hard. And I already did it on the in-class portion, but I just have to like correct my mistakes. Now I got 3 points off of 1 question because I just like miscalculated. So if I get that right, oh, that's satisfying. ASMR. And then the second part I got all right. So, excuse me, repeat that. And then we should be good. So yay. I just have to like actually do it. Which I have to like prepare myself to get up, go to the front area, print it out, come back here, sit down, take like, ew. Anyway, sorry. Sit down, take like 20 minutes of my time, go through it, make sure that it's all right, and then turn it in. So really, realistically, that should take me like max 45 minutes, right? right? Like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah. Sorry, I just got distracted by, like, light. Last night when I was sitting here just, like, blasting Midnights in my headphones, just, like, distracting myself from the world, I was just thinking about how cool sound is. If I could have, like, any sort of magical powers, I would be a sonomancer. Like, somebody who could, like, control and, like, manipulate sound. Because sound is so cool, bro. Just, like, I don't know. I don't even know what it is about it. But, like, sound is everything. Like, you can hear the type of space you're in. You can tell that my walls are empty based on the echo of my voice. You can tell that there's a carpeted floor, though, because there's still some absorption of sound. You can tell that it's my voice based off the timbre that it's creating from my vocal cords. You can understand what I'm saying because of the transmission of the vibrations from my voice into my phone, being picked up by a microphone, translated into an electrical signal, and then spat back out, decoded and spat back out at y'all through your speakers. And then that manipulates the airwaves again in order to hit your eardrum, which sends a chemical signal to your brain, which then decodes what I'm saying so that you understand it. But you only understand the sounds that are coming out of my mouth because I'm speaking a language that you understand. And changing the different sounds that come out of my mouth change if you guys understand or not. Like, language is entirely arbitrary, and that's, like, insane. But, like what? Sound, in order to get to your ears, it goes from mechanical to electrical to mechanical to chemical. Like, what? Well, actually, no, because, no, mechanical to electrical again, because your brain sends electrical signals. But still, that's still very cool. Also, you can tell, like, which instruments are which based off of the timbre, which is, like, the way that the frequencies of the instrument stack on top of each other. Like, what? You can physically, like, if a sound wave is strong enough, you can move something with it. If, like, that's if it's really strong. If, let's see. Oh, amplification, like, interference of sound waves. Sound wave plus sound wave can equal more sound wave, but it can also equal no sound. It, like people have talked about, like, what happens if you could, like, play silence, but you don't have to play silence in order to negate another sound. You just have to play another sound at the right frequency in order to completely negate the sound waves of the other sound. Isn't that weird? You can play silence if you just play the right sounds. Like, 1 + 1 should not equal 0. Like, if you really think about it, sound waves, when you're playing two sound waves, if you think of each of them as, like, one, interference and, like, constructive interference and destructive interference is like saying 1 + 1 = 2, but also 1 + 1 = 0. Like, what? I guess it would be more equivalent to saying, like, the square root of 4 is plus and minus 2. Like, it's both positive and negative 2. I guess that's more of an adequate comparison there. There are two answers. Or it could be each sound is 1, and then you're switching whether it's positive or negative based on where you're standing. But that's, like, changing fundamental. I don't know. But it's super cool. If you play sounds right, you can get silence. Like, if somebody is really pissing you off, you can figure out the exact frequencies of their voice and then play the exact antithesis frequencies of their voice and, like, silence them. That's what white noise is. That's how, like, noise canceling works on your headphones. You're literally playing sound in order to cancel out all the other sound in the world. Like, what? That's so cool. Yeah, like, that's amazing. And then, like, the way that we figured out that, like, how harmonies work, right? So a certain frequency lines up with another frequency at certain intervals in a way that stacks nicely so that it produces a more unique and harmonious sound together. Like, that's so cool. And, like, if the intervals at which you play are, like, they're also, like, polyrhythms if you slow it down enough. Rhythm equals pitch. So if you play, or for example, octaves, their frequencies, the frequencies between, like, an A2 and an A3 that's a 1-to-2 ratio between their frequencies. So, like, A equals 440. That's the common standard tuning for an A4, I believe, in the Western tuning system. 12-10. 12-tone equal temperament. The A that's an octave above that, A5, is it plays at 880 hertz, right? That's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you snap a 2-to-1 polyrhythm and then you speed this up enough, it starts sounding like 2 notes an octave apart. And then you can do that with all the intervals. And this is just intonation, actually. Well, octaves are always a 2-to-1 ratio. But once you start getting in the middle, that's where things start to get blurry. So in the Western Hemisphere, we wanted all the notes to be, or not Western Hemisphere, in 12-tone equal temperament, Western music tuning, standard tuning, whatever. We wanted all the notes to be equally spaced apart so that when you're playing things in one octave compared to another octave, they all line up. Because if you think about it, so the ratio of perfect fifths is 3:2. So one frequency will beat 3 times where one only beats twice. And that's how you get, like, perfect fifths, which is just like a musical interval. If you tune your instrument to play a perfect fifth between an A440 and then an E being 660 hertz, and then you tune everything in between to be like that, it doesn't line up between the octaves. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, this is so hard to explain. 660 to 880 would be 4:3, which is a fourth interval. But then if you tune up for example, okay, so A to D, which would be a perfect fourth. Wait, why did I? Yeah. If it's 440, then that needs, I'll just do below. Wait, no. The D below A equals 440 needs to be 330 in order for it to be, no, that's a fourth interval. Guys, point is, it doesn't, just intonation doesn't translate across the octaves. So in 12-tone equal temperament, we made it so that everything could translate across octaves, no matter what octave you're in. All the intervals are the same. Okay, go look up a video about it because I just did a terrible job explaining it. It's so cool, trust, but I'm just like not doing enough justice to it. If you care enough, go look up a video about it. But if not, just live with that half knowledge that I just shared with you. Yeah, anyway, there's like other standard tunings. You could do 24 tone equal temperament. Oh my gosh. So because the intervals between notes are ratios, like 1 to 2, they go up exponentially. So in order to account for that, musicians created cents, spelled like 1 cent, like CENT. 1 cent. Cents are, I don't know what 1 cent equals exactly, but cents are made on a logarithmic scale. So between 2 notes in 12 tone equal temperament, I believe there's 100 cents between each note. 24 tone equal temperament is where you make a tuning system where there's only 50 cents in between each note. So you get 24 notes in an octave, or 23 notes in an octave, and then the 24th is when it repeats the octave. You can also do like 13 tet, 17 tet, 19 tet. Those are like all semi-popular. 32 tet, 21 tet. Or you may hear Edo, equal distribution. I don't know what O stands for. Edo. It's the same thing as tet. Like they mean the same things. But anyways, I don't know if anyone cared. But I shared anyway, so. I don't even know. I was just talking about how cool sound is. So blind people, and like beluga whales do this too with like echolocation. The area of the, actually this is just like blind people, but like the area of the brain that is usually used for interpreting sight in blind people gets repurposed to create a visual image of their surroundings based off of what they're hearing in their head. So blind people, they see like nothing is there. Or if you're technically legally blind but not like blind, then everything is just incredibly blurry. But the mind essentially like replaces that with like a map in your head. So like imagine you're using like LiDAR but with sound, and that's like what blind people see. Like that, isn't that cool? And like that's what I mean by like beluga whales do it too with like echolocation, and like bats too. They make like clicking sounds, like the clicker in The Last of Us, it does that too. Yeah, sounded so cool. Also, the Doppler effect. So when something is moving towards you, or when something is just moving, it's compressing the air in front of it, which when it's emanating sound, that compresses the sound waves because it's moving as it's moving, the air is compressing, which makes more air molecules in a smaller area. So when sound passes through it, it compresses the sound waves because there's more air molecules that the sound wave has to pass through. So when a sound is moving towards you, it sounds higher in pitch because it's getting compressed, and so the wavelength is shorter. As it moves away from you, the sound can expand because that compressor from the front it leaves a space behind, like a vehicle per se, where the sound waves decompress. And so when a car passes you, it decreases in pitch because the sound waves are decompressing when they on their path to reach your ear. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So cool. Sound. Also, like, breaking the sound barrier, when you do that, you're compressing the sound waves in front of you so much that they burst, and you surpass the threshold that the sound that you're emanating can't be heard by you. So to you, you can't hear anything. It sounds just like peaceful, like on a flight. But everyone below you is just hearing constant sonic boom. Did you hear about like the Concorde, that supersonic flight that got retired? It was a commercial supersonic passenger jet. But they retired it because there was an incident, and also it was really loud. But imagine that for like transatlantic flights. It took 3 hours, 3.5 hours to go from New York to London. It was so fast that when traveling from London to New York, you would gain time because of time zones. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Maddie just got Bitcoin. Anyway, what? We literally, like, low-key, honestly, okay, hear me out. We could just, like, people are like, oh my gosh, like, let's invent. Also, it got really dark. There we go. Oh, this is awful lighting. All right, hold on, let me readjust. I'll be right back. Hello, everyone. I return. What was I even talking about? Oh, how we can just invent time travel right now. Imagine if, like, collectively the human race just, like, decided we're gonna set time back. We're tired of counting up. We're gonna start now. This is year 0, and it's now midnight. We just time traveled. Time is entirely arbitrary, and therefore time travel is just something that, like, anyone can do. Have you guys ever thought, this is separate idea still about time travel. We have the power to manipulate time. And I'm not talking about like scientific or anything like that. I'm talking about sleep. You have the power to just, like, skip time whenever you feel like it. As long as you're, like, tired enough, you can just, like, skip time. Like, I don't know, for all the insomniacs out there, hey Thomas, like, if you start thinking about sleep as like time manipulation, I feel like that would prompt so many more people to sleep. Like, I can control time because time is entirely arbitrary and it's based on the person perceiving it. So when I fall asleep, it feels like 1 second. Not even. It's crazy to think about. I guess, like, if you have dreams, then it feels like longer. It can feel like longer. But, like, when you choose to go to sleep, like, you're choosing to skip time. Like, because there's been some times where I'm like, I've been so excited for something in the next morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like 8 hours away, but I can make it like 1 hour away by going to sleep right now. You know? I don't know. Start thinking about sleep. We need to start being more whimsical in how we think about sleep. I wholeheartedly stand on this. Sleep is time manipulation. And on top of that, like, the world that you enter when you sleep is insane. I actually, so last year, my senior year of high school, when we in my lit class, we had to write about something like totally like normal, like in a very unique way. So, something very mundane. We had to make something mundane interesting based on how we were writing about it. Like, taking something and giving it a whole new light. And I chose to write about sleep and, like, getting ready to go to sleep because, like, that's something that we do every day. And, like, the way I wrote it, I said, first you have to make sure that you look presentable for the dream lord or dream catcher or something, dream overlord, and you have to make sure that you're like clean, your mouth is clean, as an offering in order to allow you, in order for him to allow you to pass with a pleasant night. And then you have to get suited up in your pajamas, and you have to get very comfortable in order to allow yourself to pass into the land of subconscious. And then sometimes you have to set an anchor in order to bring yourself out in the form of an alarm. And I also mentioned that, like, when you go to sleep, if you have a dream, don't panic. Nothing will affect your normal life unless you become an avatar of the dream overlord. In which case, like, that would be like sleepwalking or something like that. I don't know. Like, normalize being whimsical about stuff. I think about sleep and dreams all the time, and how cool they are, and sound, how cool that is. Like, I need people to start being more whimsical. Like, ASAP. That would fix so many problems. If we just all started being a little bit more whimsical and daydreamy. Like, what happened to childlike wonder? Why can't I just be inspired? You know? I can't feel inspired anymore about, like, how cool that this one brick is a different color than all the others. Like, I don't know. What if that's, like, significant to somebody? If that one brick is, like, a secret button that leads to a secret passageway, or the person putting that one brick in specifically, like, chose that brick to be a different color right there because they, like, felt it to be important, or, like, I don't know. What if that one brick actually has a secret little world on the inside of it, and it's a different color because, like, people have been living in it for so long, like, many little people, and, like, nobody has any idea that, like, they exist in there because it's a part of a building. I don't know. What's something whimsical right here that I can talk? My water bottle. This is my emotional support water bottle. It has scars and scratches because it's been with me all this time, and that's a sign of my love for it. And it's really quite boring on the outside, but truly there's a lot of character to it with all these scratches and stuff. Each one shows a different time that I dropped it. But it also shows that a different time that, like, I loved it enough to carry it around with me, and I loved it enough to pick it back up even after all of this scarring, you know? Like, I still love this water bottle. I carry it with me all the time. And these dents and stuff show my humanity when carrying this water bottle. Shows that sometimes I hold it in my hand and I don't just put it in my backpack, or sometimes I miss the pocket when I'm putting it back in my backpack, or sometimes I'm holding too much and I drop my water bottle, or sometimes it just totally and entirely slips out of my hand without my notice. But, like, each dent tells a different story of, like, how I dropped it. You can tell, like, over here, if I bang it on a table, like, that's typically where it gets hit. If I drop it vertically, there's a dent there. If it starts rolling down a sidewalk, that's where like, this one came from. Yeah, like, I don't know. This is a time capsule. This boring little water bottle, everything that anyone has ever touched is a time capsule. This mouse is a time capsule. There isn't that much evidence that it is such. But the USB port is gone, which means that it's currently, it's been used and it's plugged into something. You can tell that right here, the plastic around the on and off button switches is worn down, which is a sign that I've flipped it on and off a lot. So it definitely has had its usage, but it's still quite pristine in condition. So it's relatively new, or it means that I take care of it. There are no signs of wear edge here, but there's always signs of something, you know? There's always signs of life. There's dust in the crevices. That's a sign that it's been sitting on my desk, or it has sat on my desk for long periods of time. Everything that anyone has ever come in contact with. Actually, that's not even true. Anything that has ever existed for any period of time is a time capsule. Because like humans don't even have to touch anything. If a tree falls in a woods, like in the middle of the woods, that tree is a time capsule of the things that have gone through the woods. A beaver may have chewed down the bark and has caused it to fall over, and then used part of it for his dam, leaving the stump there. You can see all the rings of how long and how many seasons it's gone through, and like even if it no animal interacted with it, a heavy wind could have struck it down, or it could have gotten a disease on the outside. Most trees only the outer layer of their bark is the only living part, and so when you like cut a circle around it, cutting the outside of the bark, the tree dies. The only tree that doesn't is a palmetto, or I don't know if this is necessarily the only tree, but I do know a palmetto tree doesn't do that, so it's technically a grass. That's besides the point. But like if a tree develops a disease, you can see that if it develops all the way around, then the tree dies and it falls over, or like there's just like so much to notice in the world, and I feel like nobody does. There's so much to see. Literally, like, take a look around you right now. There are signs of stories that you had no connection to, or maybe you had all the connection to, that you just totally forgot about. Like, this pair of scissors has been with me since elementary school. You can tell because there's glue residue still on the blade. Right here used to be a little label that said my name on it, but I took it off because it looked kind of dumb, and so I thought it looked dumb, and I was like too old for that, so I took it off. But you can see like all the different, there's glue residue here, like that's from crafts that I don't even remember doing, but they still are with me because of this residue. And like, I don't know, you can tell that I've used these scissors for a long time because they're worn. They're just a little worn down, you know? They're a little dirty, and that's the beauty of being used. You get a little dirty. They've been loved. And that's beautiful. These scissors are dirty, but that's a sign that they've been loved. You can be dirty and be loved at the same time, metaphorically. Have good hygiene, kids. But like, you can have all this dust and grime and mold all over your soul, all over every aspect of your human being. But that's a sign that you've been loved. Like, that's a sign that you've been used and cherished and appreciated, but also like despised and hated and envied, and like, that's so human. So don't be ashamed if you're like dirty parts. You know, everyone has a little dirt and grime in some places, like, that they don't want people to find. But like, let these scissors be an example to you that like you can be dirty and still loved. Like, incredibly useful. These are my go-to scissors. I don't know. Love yourself. Claps for Lizzie. That felt like a claps for Lizzie moment. I feel like I'm philosophizing right now. This is what happens when you trap me in a room for 48 hours. Yeah. This is not what I thought I would get into today. And I still have to go print out that take-home portion of my physics exam. How do we feel about this shirt, guys? I kind of like this. I go through periods where I love the shirt, and then I also hate the shirt. Because, like, if I had larger muscles, like, this shirt would look so good on me. Because the way it, like, cinches, but it kind of sits weird. Like, it kind of looks, I kind of look like a child. I don't know. Like, it looks dumb because my arms are just, like, small, you know? Okay, tricep. You know, but I also like the shirt. I don't know how I feel about it. I also chose to put on the shirt today because I knew I wouldn't really be seeing anybody, and here I am vlogging to the internet for an hour and 5 minutes. So, y'all get to see the shirt that I have mixed feelings on. I'm pretty sure, like, I have definitely worn the shirt out in public before, so, like, don't hate on me if you've seen it before, Maeve. Yeah. But today, today's a messy day for me. My hair is a little questionable. I definitely need a haircut because it's getting a little long. It's getting quite long. Also, like, my baby hairs have been sticking out for a while now. They've been growing back, which makes me feel good because that means that I'm, like, not balding. My hairline is in fact going forward and not going backward. But also, like, the shirt, I don't know how I feel about it. I did shower this morning, so I'm not, like, physically gross. But sometimes you need to take physically gross days, and that's okay. Yesterday was physically gross for me. I didn't shower. But I showered this morning, and it made that shower better. So have those low moments in order to get higher highs, you know? Yeah. Wow. Okay, well, I'm actually gonna go do my physics assignment now. Lesson of the day: be more whimsical. Yeah. Be more whimsical. I think that's like, if you were to say what's one, like, message, if you were to ask me what's one message that you would want people to take away from your life, for me it would be, if I would respond to that saying, be more whimsical. I hope that people look at my life and they're like, wow, I should be more whimsical because of that man, you know? Yeah. Whimsy is a beautiful thing. We should put a whimsical counter on this video. How many times does I say the word whimsical? Does whimsy count as whimsical because it's, like, technically the same word but, like, in a different form? That's always the debate I have when people are, like, counting how many times people said a word. It's like, do you count the different forms of the word or actually just, like, the literal word that is said? Okay, this is, like, getting too much. I mean, this video is gonna end up being, like, 2 hours long if I keep talking. Anyway, be more whimsical. Go live your life. Ciao for now. Go do some physics or something. That was for me, myself, and I. Bye.